Consent is something that I've been really interested in making films about from the beginning, something that I was affected by in my life, and I felt that it didn't have a great depiction on screen, and so it needed something with more of a female gaze and understanding from our perspective. In development, we worked with teenagers in groups to figure out what their knowledge about consent was and how far along it had changed from when we were that age. And the sad thing was that it hadn't really changed from when we were that age. In fact, I think it's probably got worse because there was like much more competitiveness and social media putting extra pressure on them. I think it comes from everywhere. I think it comes from insecurities of each other and an understanding of what we think we should be at what stage we should be at what point, media, everywhere. We cast Mia very early in the process. We worked with a great casting director called Isabella Odoffin. She has a very extensive knowledge of actors, and Mia's tape was one of the first tapes that we saw, and the great bit about that is that she got to screen test with so many actors that we were trying out, and so we really got to build the friendship group. Yeah, we shot all the party scenes in the first 2 weeks, which was kind of hard because we hadn't found our rhythm yet as a crew, and we were shooting with like 200, 300 extras a day, and they had to dance to no music, and there was all sorts of challenges within that. So yeah, originally it was 3 straight couples, and then during the development process we realised that we wanted to make a comment about how queerness had moved on and it was more acceptable, or it is more acceptable within the Gen Z sort of world, and it's kind of sad that consent hasn't moved on. The blowjob scene in the film I witnessed when I was 16 in Magaluf, and something that has always stayed with me as quite a strong memory of the fact that everyone was sort of enjoying themselves, and I felt really shocked by it. And I think probably as I grow up I've understood that everyone was quite shocked by it, but we were all pretending.
Alright, do us a favour and wake Tara up.
Ain't she yours?
My mum's life, I'm not joking.
I think Paddy's character was the most difficult to craft because he's so unlikable, and we wanted men to recognise themselves in the character, and therefore it was a bit of a navigation about how horrible he is and how much he knows. And the actor Sam didn't understand a lot of the time why he was doing things, and I think that says why Sam's a good person. But yeah, so it was a very particular person to craft. So we had intimacy coordinators on set, and they were there to protect the cast and to choreograph the assault scenes. It was important for us that it wasn't an atypical victim, that the character was loud and bubbly and in parts annoying, but she's allowed to be annoying, whereas often victims, especially female victims on screen, are shown that something bad happens and then like the rest of their life is ruined, or they're saved by a man, and so we were rejecting a lot of that. So we didn't want to lock men out of the conversation because I don't think there's any point in locking men out. How can we move forward if we exclude them from the conversation? So yeah, it was really navigating the Paddy and Badger character to figure out how men recognise themselves in those characters. I think lots of women felt seen by the film, and lots of men felt aggressed by it. But as we go on, I think lots of men have recognised themselves in the characters, and I think that's really powerful.